Today, I was shown a fantastic piece of Superman artwork that gave thanks to the magnificent and heroic NHS, and I had to reach out to the artist to pass on my thanks. And it was Lionel Stanhope, and I sat down and had a quick chat with him. So please enjoy this short interview with artist Lionel Stanhope. I'm here with Lionel Stanhope, the artist from that fantastic piece that I've shared earlier on today. Lionel, first of all, thank you so much for creating that fantastic piece.
Oh, great. I'm glad everyone likes it. Obviously, I created it for the NHS and everybody who's saving people's lives and doing incredible work at this time.
Yeah, I mean, how long did it take? Because it's not a very small piece of art. It's pretty massive. How long did that take?
It took me about 5 hours just straight through. I had a photographer with me who needed to get to another sort of press conference thing, so I wanted to get it finished so he could photograph it. But I mean, I do work quite quickly, and that's what I do. I'm used to painting big stuff. So once I got going, yeah, 5 hours was it.
How did you get started in this sort of business of spray painting and sign making?
It's how I make my living. I've always painted. I paint mostly for TV shows and films. I used to paint for theatre. And in the last 5 years, I've kind of picked up aerosol cans again from way back. I used to paint, when I was a lot younger, sort of 17, 18. Now I'm in my early 50s. So, it's been a long time. But there was a street art festival nearby where I live in London, in Brockley. And, I got involved in that and then started painting again and just found a rekindled love for the spray can and big scale and the speed that you can paint with. And then, just started doing stuff locally and it just kind of spiraled and started getting work from shops and other businesses. And then Network Rail, who supplied that wall, allowed me to paint that wall. I've been working with them for the last sort of 3 years doing these big signs of their place names. They're kind of around southeast London near the stations. And it's like an iconic railway shaped sign with it's just a typography piece of work. But I've been doing those for Network Rail. So that's the reason I contacted those guys and said, look, I need a nice big wall somewhere in London that's quite prominent because I want to do this piece. And that's how that came about.
And yeah, it's just Cornwall Road, I believe, isn't it, near the Waterloo IMAX? Is that right?
Exactly. Yeah, you can see. If you're sort of stood by the mural, you can see Waterloo Station, the side that has the road with the sort of Starbucks and so on. And you can also see the Old Vic Theatre from another angle. So it's a kind of, it's right by Waterloo Station.
I cannot wait. I mean, I'm not planning any trips to London just yet, but I think the first thing I'm going to go and see when I get to London is that artwork because I'm sure it looks even more majestic in person. And yeah, I hope you feel proud of it because it's something that I hope a lot of people see around the world. It's a fantastic message to the NHS.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, no, I'm pleased with it. I'm pleased with the design. I'd already done a smaller version, and I hadn't used I redesigned the badge. So the original artwork I did, it used the N and the H from the NHS logo, so the blue lettering with the white background, and then I just added the Superman S as the S. But then I was playing around with it after I'd finished that work and it got quite a good response. And I then redesigned the badge to have the whole badge as a Superman type logo with the NHS, it all in one shape, as it were, which I'm pleased how that came out. And I sort of added some bevels and sort of 3D to it a little bit just to give it a bit more impact.
Oh no! It jumps off the wall. I did see the other artwork with the NHS on. That was in Hilly Fields, wasn't it?
Yeah. So that basically once we got locked down, I couldn't go out and paint anything. So I painted that at home on a piece of board. It's like 8 foot by 4 foot. And then I just took my exercise, went out, and I pinned it up to a fence post kind of thing. And then this one that I did recently, although we're still locked down, it was one that Network Rail picked because it's a pedestrianised area there. So there's loads and loads of room. So I managed to I took my cones with me and some hazard tape, and I got a nice big space. So I wasn't, impacting anyone else. Mm. But to be honest, London is quiet, a lot quieter, obviously. And so there was only 1 or 2 people that came past anyway. So it was the perfect spot to do that.
Yeah, it's gonna turn a lot of heads, I think, when some more foot traffic starts walking past there, Lionel, for sure. If you had the largest wall possible and an unlimited supply of paint, what would you love to create, Lionel?
That's a good question. So I've been working on a few copies of famous paintings, very old Grand Masters kind of stuff, stuff that's in the National Gallery again in London. And I'm a bit of a fan of Caravaggio. But at the moment, I'm working on one of his paintings, which is quite big. So I'd probably go through the archive there and find something challenging and big that's in the gallery, perhaps something that could push myself and be a bit of a challenge.
So you're always working on improving your craft. I like that, Lionel. That's good.
Yeah.
You've done some superhero work before, as you said. You've got the S of Superman in your name and Hope as well in your surname. So very big Superman references there.
Yeah, I mean it's such an iconic image, and I trained as a sign writer again early days, so I'm a fan of typography and S's, believe it or not, are actually one of my favourite letters. A lot of people don't like S's because they can look a bit awkward and clumsy if you don't get the proportions correct. Sometimes the top part of it can be too big and it can look like it's falling over, and there's lots of things. It's a letter that needs a lot of work, but the Superman S I really like, and again, the steel version that was from one of the later films, I like the metal kind of look to that, and so yeah, I've painted it a couple of times, and like as you say, it's just a nice image, it's recognisable, and it's beginning of my surname, which is a bit cheesy, but there you go.
I've tried drawing it countless times over the years if I'm doodling something and I can never get it right, but you've perfected it, I think, over the years, Lionel. So thank you for continuing to create Superman artwork, but thank you so much for creating that wonderful thank you to the NHS that I was just so grateful to see on my phone this morning.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much.
Not a problem. Lionel, where can people find you online?
You can just Google my name. It's an unusual name, Lionel Stanhope, and I'm on all formats of social media. But my main stuff will be obviously on the Instagram page. But it's Lionel with an underscore Stanhope.
Superb, Lionel. Well, I look forward to seeing your work in the upcoming years. And again, one more time, thank you so much for that wonderful creation.
Thanks very much. Nice to speak to you.
Take care now.